I think some of you still remember where you were the exact moment Flappy Bird was taken from us, God rest its soul. Some of us still bear those scars. Flappy Bird was one of the biggest mobile games to ever release, at least for its time. It felt like every phone on the planet had that puppy installed. That was as close to global unity as we've ever come. That and Pokemon Go. But Flappy Bird was a phenomenon. When I was in college when it came out, and I remember it swept like a plague. People started to care a lot about Flappy Bird high scores. It became like a status symbol. Anyone who broke triple digits was treated like a god on campus. They were a celebrity. But as they say, the star that burns brightest burns out quickest. The creator of Flappy Bird announced that he was feeling immense guilt over how addicting and how popular the game had become. So he announced that at the height of its popularity, where he was making like $50,000 a day from this, he would be taking it down. And by golly, I tell you what, sports fans, he was a man of his word. Down it stayed. It was banished to the Shadow Realm, and it's been a decade. And then out of nowhere, the resurrection. It was announced Flappy Bird would be coming back, the original Flappy Bird. But that was a fucking lie. It tried to mislead people into believing that this was the original Flappy Bird, you know, and it hinted that the actual creator of the game was involved, even though he wasn't, and it's actually just a crypto scam. It was there to peddle NFTs. Whoever's behind this is an absolute fucking buffoon. NFTs in the year 2024, you've got to be off your gourd. You might as well be trying to sell fucking fidget spinners on the blockchain. Like, you're so tardy to the party, old man. But crypto scams, I know, do still exist. I know people still fall for them every single day. But I think the majority of people, when they see crypto or NFT anything, they treat it like someone yelling bomb in an airport and start running the other way. Also, the actual creator of Flappy Bird, Dong Nguyen, just posted a tweet confirming he has no involvement with this project at all, and then condemns crypto. Turns out what actually happened is the smooth-brained stooges that are still sucking on the teat of NFT scams noticed that the trademark had been abandoned. So the copyright was inactive, and they swooped in and took Flappy Bird since Dong Nguyen didn't, you know, refile for it or anything like that, so they were able to take Flappy Bird. At least that's what's currently being reported here, and that really does track. That seems par for the course for NFT scammers. So they grabbed Flappy Bird knowing that it is a name that everybody remembers, even a decade later, and they try and do a quick pump and dump crypto scam with it. But they didn't anticipate that everyone would catch on so quickly. I imagine there still will be a few people that don't know, and they'll see Flappy Bird hit their phones and be like, oh, Flappy Bird's back, and they'll download it, and hopefully they don't end up losing a lot of money in it or whatever. But it's not actually Flappy Bird, it's not actually coming from the creator. It is legitimately the lowest effort crypto scam that we've seen a million times before. But they did go through the effort of making a cool hype up trailer for it.
The latest gaming sensation, Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Why is it so hard?
Downloaded more than 50 million times.
It is the number one
app
in over 100 countries.
It's a global sensation.
And people going crazy by the addictive nature of the game.
Until suddenly it was game over.
The mobile game Flappy Bird has been taken off the Apple App Store and Google's
Users across social media expressing their disappointment.
You can't play Flappy Bird anymore.
Rest in peace.
Looking back on this 10 years later, it really is crazy how big Flappy Bird was. Especially for back then. Things didn't travel as quickly back then. Nowadays, you'll have shit pop off out of nowhere thanks to things like TikTok, and everyone has more access to things. But 10 years ago, it wasn't quite like that, and yet Flappy Bird still took the whole world by storm. I still remember, like, really grinding hard to try and be a triple-digit Chad, and so did a lot of my friends. In my psychology course in particular, me and a buddy of mine used to treat that like a fucking battlefield where we'd just be playing Flappy Bird the entire time, just trying to get to triple digits. I don't remember if I ever did or not. I think at some point I probably cracked into that. But anyway, I personally look back fondly on Flappy Bird. It is such a shame and it's sad that the creator felt miserable for what he created here. he delivered something that I think a lot of people really appreciated. And in a lot of ways, it was one of the few times that a game became so big that even people that don't play games were talking about it and in on it. It was cool. It really was. So interesting how there's no mention of crypto or NFTs in this trailer here. Trying to keep that as under the radar as possible, flying real low with that information, because they know if people sniff that out, they would hate this, and they would rightfully avoid it. But it is indeed a crypto NFT dog shit product that they're going to try and just use the goodwill of the old Flappy Bird name to try and get a few suckers to buy into it. A classic in the crypto community. I checked the Flappy Bird Twitter to see if they were going to even acknowledge the information that came out about the creator not being involved in it being all crypto based. But they're not. Instead, they announced that Flappy Bird is on Telegram. It's landed on Telegram, what everyone's been begging for 10 fucking years. This is the biggest news since JFK announced that we were going to the goddamn moon. And you can join the Flap-a-Ton event now? Oh my god, it's everything we've always wanted. Just look at how excited the comment section is, filled with very real people expressing their very real excitement. Like our good pal Kimmer, who said, I was hooked on the combination of old and new features of Flappy Bird, and then only 9 minutes later they had to say something again because they were overcome with so much joy. They said, Flappy Bird rose from the ashes again, testing the limits of my game abilities. Every single fucking comment looks like those fake Amazon product reviews that just say, good product, did like. Especially Kimmer. Kimmer just can't stop fucking yapping about it. Here's another one from Kimmer only 6 minutes later. The resumption of the Flappy Bird flight looks like a flash of nostalgia. And if you thought Kimmer was done commenting on this post, you've lost your goddamn marbles. Kimmer came back only a minute later and said, Flappy Bird takes off again. Once again surrounded by other glowing reviews from Flappy Bird enthusiasts, all of which seem to curiously have crypto ties in their profile. And they all kind of read like bots, but when it comes to crypto, it's always really hard to know what's a bot and what's a person who's just been brainwashed. There's not really a difference, they basically just become a crypto bot in the end anyway, but every single comment's kind of the same shit about Flappy Bird. I'm so glad it's back, and the Web3 features make it even better. I'm all in for this new Web3 edition. Can't stop flapping on Telegram. Adam, that sounds like a threat. That sounds like you're up to something nefarious. And don't worry, Kimmer is back. If you thought Kimmer was done posting on this thread here, you're a fucking idiot, because Kimmer had a lot more to say. Who would have thought that clapping could be so fun? I think they meant flapping, unless they're just sitting there at their computer just giving this game a huge round of applause. It's so weird how, out of the 400-something comments on this post that's only an hour old, almost none of them mention any level of distrust with the product. No one's mentioning the information about the creator not being involved, despite misleading people into thinking that he was. That's odd, how it's only people that are really excited about all the Web3 capabilities, and especially Kimmer, who hasn't been this excited since the day of their birth. It's weird, I don't know. Something smells a little fishy there. But I'm not here to insinuate that the Flappy Bird team might be using bots to promote the game. No, that's way too low for crypto scammers. They wouldn't do something like that. It must purely be a coincidence that so many accounts are posting so many times saying almost identical things in the comment section here. That's all it is. But yeah, wanted to talk about the big Flappy Bird scam here. That's really about it. See ya. Last night I had an urge that I was fighting off a demon for which I was battling internally, and I swore to myself I wouldn't make a video covering this topic. I looked at myself in the mirror, I said, Charles, look at you. Strikingly handsome, 5'6". You could suck a titty standing up. You don't need to talk about this. It's beneath you. Don't do it, Charlie. Unfortunately, I'm failing myself. I can't stop myself. It's like SpongeBob when he has the water and he's drying out. He's like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. That's me right now with this topic. It's too goofy to not talk about. But the reason I was going to avoid it is because I do actually feel bad for the victims in this case, because it's not their fault per se. And I've already made so many videos making fun of NFTs and NFT bros, the entire community. There's no reason to just come in and fucking slam and jam fucking windmill dunking on NFT bros again. But goodness gracious, heavens to Betsy, I can't help it when you do stuff like this. Yesterday, there was a Bored Ape Yacht Club convention, Ape Fest, where it's just supposed to celebrate your bad investments because NFTs are down like 99% value, it's collapsing, they're going extinct faster than silly bands and fidget spinners. NFTs are eating more shit than pinworms right now, and yet they still had the gall, the chutzpah, to throw an event to try and convince people that it wasn't all worthless, that there's still value here. And not only were the attendees experiencing financial ruin from buying Bored Apes because they got fucking brainwashed into it, they then experienced eyesight ruin because the event coordinators didn't take any precautions with their lighting and ended up causing photokeratitis, which is basically UV burns to the patrons' eyes. So a lot of people that went there to party at the Ape Fest experienced temporary blindness, eye damage out the wazoo. Tons and tons of people were reportedly going to, like, you know, the ER or experiencing all kinds of discomfort in their eyes because the lighting they used were UV lights, unprotected UV lights that they were just blasting into the eyeballs of everyone who went to the fucking event. There were so many tweets like this from concerned attendees wondering if what they were experiencing was an isolated incident or if there were a lot of other people that had this problem. So there were tweets like this popping up everywhere. I woke up at 4 and I couldn't see anymore, had so much pain and my whole skin is burned, needed to go to the hospital. The doctor told me the UV of the lightning of the stage, I believe they meant lighting, though I can't hold this against them since I can't fucking see their phone anymore because Ape Fest damaged their eyes. It has the same effect as sunlight, still cannot see normally. So a lot of people were reportedly going to see doctors about this because they were experiencing blindness. Naturally, of course, this led to a lot of people on Twitter making the same joke about NFT holders being blind anyway, so this is nothing new, but this is a very alarming situation for anyone that went, because they went there and then it was hosted by a goddamn supervillain, I guess, that was just attacking everybody's eyesight, perhaps permanently damaging it in some cases, all because they went with UV lighting that they were burning everyone's eyeballs with. This became such a huge deal that Bored Ape Yacht Club themselves had to make a statement. Apes, we are aware of the eye-related issues that affected some of the attendees of Ape Fest and have been proactively reaching out to individuals since yesterday to try and find the potential root causes. Hey, look, I'll tell you what the root cause is. You did terrible job with your lighting engineers, if you even had any on staff in the first place. Knowing NFT projects, I guarantee they didn't even bother having a real lighting professional there. They just found someone nearby that was local that said he's got some lights that he can go string up there, some shit, and they're like, ah, run it, fuck yeah, it'll save us some money. Based on our estimates, we believe that much less than 1% of those attending and working the event had these symptoms. I'm going to go ahead and call dirty barnacles on that. That's a load of fish paste. I'm going to show you some pictures from the event. There are not many people there in the first place. I feel like 100% of the attendees were the ones posting on Twitter about their eye-related issues that were caused from this. There are not many people there to begin with, and there are a lot of reports of individuals that had eye problems from it. While nearly everyone has indicated their symptoms have improved, we encourage anybody who feels them to seek medical attention just in case. And then there's a community note. During Ape Fest, attendees suffered from unprotected exposure to UV lights, leading to skin and eye injuries such as sunburn, eye pain, and temporary blindness. So here's one shot showcasing the dance floor area of the event, and it looks more empty than the dance floor at my fucking high school homecoming, and I went to a high school that only had 150 students in it. That shit looks more empty than a local dive bar hosting a Screamo-only karaoke night. So, it's not exactly the most packed event, but for the sake of fairness, that first clip was at the beginning of the evening, I believe, and towards the end of the evening is when more people started to filter in. And it gets a little more populated, sure, but it's still not exactly like this fucking sea of meat here with like thousands upon thousands of people, but it is a moderately filled event for the most part, but still nothing crazy. This is the clip that most people were clowning on. One of the most pathetic mosh pits you'll ever see. This is some Weenie Hut Jr. moshing here. I personally don't find it to be that embarrassing or cringe. They're clearly having a good time. You can see that one gentleman in the red shirt just came in wearing his sunglasses at night, which usually a lot of people would make fun of, like, you know, that's not exactly a cool thing to do. But that guy ended up being the smartest one at the event because those sunglasses no doubt saved his eyes from the UV light warfare that Bored Ape Yacht Club waged on their community. So, big W for that gentleman, but overall, big L per usual for NFTs. A very common L. Though this one is a very special one. I would have never predicted something like this happening. This has only ever happened once before, from what I can tell. It's not exactly a common occurrence where someone just puts up UV lighting and starts fucking blinding the audience. Like, that's not exactly a mistake a lot of people make. But man, that is just so par for the course for NFTs, because NFTs and the NFT community always finds the most creative ways of hurting themselves and then convincing themselves that it's not their fault, or that it's actually not that big of a deal, or even a good thing. I may have lost $100,000 minting the Glorbus Sphincter token, but actually, the experience I gained along the way has enabled me to be a better crypto trader, which is why I just put another $100,000 into Butt token. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever, brother. Like, okay. Like, they can't even throw an event without some kind of catastrophic disaster unfolding. This whole thing was meant to try and convince people that Bored Apes aren't dead, I imagine, to prevent buyer's remorse. Like, look, there's still dozens of us holding on. It's only up right now. Buy the dip. And then, all of a sudden, you're leaving with permanent eye damage. And you know what's wild? I bet the people that have been harmed from this, the people that are experiencing temporary blindness or eye damage from it, have already forgiven Bored Ape Yacht Club for it. Like, they're probably already over it. They're like, you know what? It happens. Whatever. I'm not mad about it. I've still got my Bored Ape, and that's all I need. I may have sold the house for it, and you know what? I'm still convinced it was a good investment. And yes, my eyesight may be fucked now, and I'm spending a lot of money on medical bills to try and fix it, but all of that is small potatoes once the NFT market bounces back and my ape is worth 10x what I put into it. To the moon! Here it comes! I've never seen a community so delusional when it comes to things like this, so I really am convinced that the people that were harmed here aren't going to be holding the Bored Ape Yacht Club organizers accountable, even though they absolutely should. This is absolutely grounds for a lawsuit. This is entirely their fault. They ran a dangerous event that harmed a lot of people. They should be held responsible. They should face real severe punishment for this. But I'm not convinced they will, because I don't think the community will go after them for it, which they absolutely should, and have every right to. But hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope everyone that was affected here, all the victims of this terribly ran event, do pursue legal action against the Bored Ape Yacht Club for this. It is, again, a big deal. You got injured attending this event from no fault of your own. The organizers used unsafe lighting that literally fucking burned your eyes. Like, the long-term effects of that could be huge. We don't know. You suffered a UV burn to your eyes. You should be going after the Bored Ape Yacht Club for what they've done here. I understand how much you love your NFTs, but you need to understand that your health is more important than that. Plus, this is a good opportunity for a potential payday from the Bored Ape Yacht Club team. Like, what the fuck? So hopefully they do face repercussions for running the event the way they did here with this lighting. Hopefully all the victims make a full recovery and there's no long-lasting permanent effects, because again, it's not their fault. They did nothing wrong. They went there to try and have a good time and party and forget about a bad investment they made. And then they ended up walking away with actual injuries and damage from it. So I do wish them the best. And you know what? I also hope for some reason they're able to sell their apes and make some money back on it, because man, they need a W. So overall, a crazy situation. That's about it. See ya. I'm sure all of you know that Dr. Disrespect has been working on a game for quite some time right now. And that's pretty exciting. Until I feed you the poison here, I'm about to roofie your drink with this one. It's not just a game, it's a crypto-based game. It has a very strong NFT component to it. In fact, it seems like NFTs are the focal point of the game. That's the #1 thing they've been mentioning in regards to this project. So it's a play-to-earn experience, and these buzzwords, NFT, play-to-earn, crypto, are beyond detrimental to the hype of any project in 2023. People run away faster when they hear NFT than if they had heard someone shout bomb in an airport. It is a very negative implication when that word's tossed around, because it's become so synonymous with scams and people losing their money or getting deceived by NFTs in the crypto space. So people have been dunking on Dr. Disrespect for his inclusion of NFTs in the game, and there's a lot I'd like to talk about with this. So to quickly give you a brief lore recap, the game is called Dead Drop. Dr. Disrespect is spearheading the operation, and fundamentally it is a Tarkov-style shooter, as I understand it, where when you drop into the game, you can find NFTs in the world, and if you extract with those NFTs, you can then turn around and sell them on the blockchain. So you can make legitimate money through playing the game. It's a free-to-play game, and you don't have to use it as like a money-making thing, but you can. The concept is cool, but I'm sure a lot of you that have your thinking caps on may have already identified a glaring issue with the entire core idea of it. But before really diving into the meat of it, I'd like to at least say, I always appreciate and applaud creators who go into different areas and try and create bigger things and make wild content, big projects. I always think that's great. And I'll shamelessly plug real quick, speaking of creators doing bigger projects, Godslap, issue 3's out right now. Issue 3 just dropped, baby. It's available at godslapbook.com. Also, issue 1 and 2 are of course still for sale there, and we got the 2 variant covers for issue 3 as well. So issue 3's out, go get it, godslapbook.com, baby. Read the best comic ever made. So I'm happy Dr. Disrespect is making this game, and I don't think it's going to turn out to be a scam. Hopefully this statement doesn't age like festering dog shit in 2 years when the game drops or whenever, but I just can't imagine that he would blatantly scam his audience because it would be career suicide. And I just feel like there's no way he wouldn't recognize this. It really feels like he wanted to set out to create like a really unique game and experience, but overlooked a lot of obvious problems that'll come from this. So let's talk about it. He posted this tweet a couple days ago. Imagine trying to extract with an item you discovered worth $100,000 on the chain. Think about the entertainment value as a viewer, let alone player. A new PvP experience is upon us. The concept of digital collectibles in an online game is so exciting to me, especially an extraction type of game. People saying scam and are just brain-dead headline followers. Same people that spend a ton on skins for an annual release game. Same skins everyone has too. Now, let's really peel apart this onion here. You've got to be huffing a fucking unreal amount of shungite to think for even 1 second with $100,000 on the line in your game that people won't cheat. Cheating is going to be a full-time occupation. It will become a real job to cheat in his game if there are items worth up to $100,000. Even if the items only go up to like $500, it'd be stupid not to cheat. You get cheats for fucking $10 and then try and steal items off players that are worth hundreds. It's a no-brainer. And in the crypto space, this is very common with something like Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity is a play-to-earn crypto game where the more you play, the more money you can earn. And do you know what's happened? It's become an absolute goddamn fucking disgusting, yucky cesspool of cheating, exploitation. There is an entire market for people paying less than a minimum wage overseas to have workers full-time grind Axie Infinity for them so they can make money off of it through the game. And not only that, they had this big hack where they lost $600 million. I'm going to say hack in air quotes here. I'm using that term real loosey-goosey because it's a very shady situation. They just so happen to get hacked and lose $600 million in the process. So more like Haxie Infinity, am I right? And this is a game worth billions. Meanwhile, Dr. Disrespect does not have billions behind his game. So how the fuck is he going to prevent something like that from happening in his? The point is, in the play-to-earn space, there is a lot of bad actors. In fact, there aren't any normal players left, really, for like Axie Infinity, for example. I'm sure there's like a couple pockets, a couple of holdouts, people playing for fun, but it's very rare. It is mainly just this stinky vehicle for exploitation and making money off the play-to-earn model with as little effort as possible. It's pretty gross. So that is absolutely going to be the case in Dr. Disrespect's game, where the only people playing are going to be the ones exploiting it for money-making purposes. Dr. Disrespect seems to believe that because it's free to play, and will hopefully be fun to play, it'll incentivize players to hop in the crucible with their boys, normal gamers like you and me, red-blooded, Gabe Newell worshiping gamers. They're going to be the ones playing my game, not these cheaters and these people looking to abuse our system. When that's just absolute wishful thinking. That is a pipe dream. You have to be Kegeling Shungite to really think that's going to be the core player base for a project like this. With a $100,000 fucking golden snitch on the line, $100,000 real world schmeckles, do you really think that Darren and the boys on the JV football squad are going to be hopping in to try and duke it out on the battleground to fight for that legitimately with honor? Absolutely not. It is going to be cheaters. And since it's an extraction type game, if the normal players happen to be the one to find the item, the cheaters are going to be the one to come around, kill them, and take the item and then extract before you ever even have a chance to fight back or do anything about it. And since it's on the blockchain, it's immutable. You can't really uncheat it. You can't funge the unfungible, goddammit. The non-fungible will stay non-funged. Like, it's a problem that you won't have a solution to. There isn't a single AAA gaming developer out there right now that has solved cheating. Every single developer has cheaters. Billions and billions of dollars go into anti-cheating and to prevent cheaters because it ruins communities and it ruins the longevity of a game. If there's a lot of cheaters, people will stop playing the game because the cheaters push them out. No one's been able to solve that issue. What chance does Dr. Disrespect Studio have of making sure no cheaters exist here? And with this kind of money on the line, can you imagine the frustration, the misery, and the unbearable sinking feeling of finding an expensive item only to have it taken from you by someone that's playing unfair? It's an experience that is going to be completely new here. He's not wrong. This will be a new PvP experience, but it's the worst possible one because you won't be able to combat cheaters. It just can't happen. People are cheating all the time in every game where it doesn't even matter. Games that don't even have like a ranking system or a leaderboard or anything, people still cheat in. Can you imagine how many people are going to cheat in a game where you're literally incentivized to do so monetarily? It's going to be non-stop. You won't have normal players because they're going to be pushed out by the bad actors that are playing the game for nefarious purposes and just greed, playing it to make that money, so they're doing everything possible to cheat and get those items to sell for money. Now let's take for example a game like Counter-Strike, where you can make like an actual full-time living through selling skins in that game. But the difference is, you're not actually earning the skins in-game. You're not competing over the same skin in a match, right? So you're not having to worry about cheaters, which there are a ton of cheaters in Counter-Strike, obviously, but they're not cheating in order to get skins through playing the game. Whereas here, the thing you're competing for is literally real-world money. So it's completely different. The way you make money in Counter-Strike is you're getting cases, you're getting keys, and you're hoping that you get good rolls on your skin, or you're doing some other shady shit under the table for skins, but you're never actually earning them in the game itself through playing against other players, whereas here, you're going head-to-head for those NFTs that are worth the money. It's a completely different landscape. And when asked why he's chosen to have it be blockchain-stored digital items as opposed to a server-side storage like CSGO, he replied saying that he likes the idea of having the digital collectibles have functionality in a different game that comes out 7 years later. That is a cool idea, long-term functionality of the things that you've collected, albeit it is a little unrealistic to assume that whatever you collect in Dead Drop right now will somehow still be able to be implemented in future projects without knowing what those projects are. The developers are going to have to program those things in. It's not just going to be able to slide over. Like, let's say you collect a gun in Dead Drop 2, or in Dead Drop, but the next game they make is a fucking hack-and-slash folk rhythm game. How the fuck is that gun that you've collected in Dead Drop going to somehow make its way into that game? They need to program it, right? That's a lot of development heavy lifting to implement 7-year-old items into a modern game that they're working on that there's really no crossover and probably no actual usage for. But it is a cool idea, and let's say they do decide that it's worth that time investment. This is an idea that can completely work without the blockchain entirely. We'll use Counter-Strike as another easy example. If I wanted my CSGO skins to translate over to CSGO 2 that comes out 7 years from now or whatever, they can deem it worth it to program a way of having those skins be in CSGO 2. It would just take development effort, just like it would in the NFT example. Like, the blockchain just provides the receipts to verify who owns what, but you can verify that outside of the blockchain too. You'd verify my CSGO skins right now for CSGO 2, be like, okay, he owns this, this, and this, and here's what we've done to program them into CSGO 2. Like, you don't need it to be NFTs. It can exist without it. Overall, I don't think this game is a designed scam. This isn't Dr. Disrespect trying to fuck his audience or anything. I really think He wanted to create something special and very ambitious. And he liked the idea, as most people would, of being able to play a game and make a living through playing that game. Like, who doesn't love that as a concept? But all of this assumes that everyone's going to be playing fair. And when it comes to money, when you're putting monetary value on the hours you play that game and the items you find, people are going to take the easiest path to get that money. And it'd be stupid not to, honestly, with $100,000 on the line for some of these items, apparently. Everyone is going to be trying to cheat to get those items. No one's going to be trying to play legitimately to obtain that level of wealth. And I don't blame them for wanting to cheat for that. That's a life-changing amount of money in this game. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it's clearly a huge issue with the project entirely. And I haven't seen a great explanation for how they plan on combating the cheating that would come from all of this. So it seems like an impossible task to ensure no cheaters exist in a game like this. But anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Do you see the Bored Ape game comes out? No way. No way. Is that actually coming out? Oh, wow. First Bored Ape NFT game cost $2,300 for 3 weeks of play. Oh my. Oh goodness. I don't know if that's accurate or not yet, since I clearly don't know anything about it, aside from the tech demos they used to show, which were absolutely laughable jokes. You have to pay hourly for access to the game or something. Bored Ape Yacht Club's next chapter, what you need to know about sewer passes, the skill-based mint, and more. The skill-based mint, huh?
A whole lot's happened in the swamp recently. Let's recap.
I'll do a quick recap for you. NFTs have never been less valuable. Recap's over. It crashed and burned.
We started down here. Competed for glory when we got over here. And a whole bunch of other really cool stuff took place in between then and now.
And it's all gone.
It all started when Jimmy took a shit so atomic, he ripped a damn hole in the space-time continuum. Curtis was handed a mysterious box and a key from another universe, but instead of opening it, they partied. And now the
Is this where Justin Roiland went after the whole domestic violence stuff?
His
You write this?
Chocolate pocket through the sewer. Starting January 17th, each ape and mutant can claim a sewer pass that grants access to the bowels of the yacht club for a skill-based mint called Dookie Dash that begins January 18th.
Like, how there has to be some level of shame when you're Bored Apes were very expensive. Now they're probably worth less than a pack of cigarettes, but at one point they were very expensive. How can there not be that level of embarrassment where, like, I spent thousands of dollars for my Dookie Dash? Like, you're telling your friends about, like, your investments, like, guys, you guys really need to get the sewer pass from the latest Bored Apes. It allows you for 5 Dookie Dashes in the skill-based mint through the glorb hole. Like, that's wild to me. Like, you actually have to be fucking stupid and shameless to think this is a good idea. It just sounds embarrassing.
Per Bored Ape or Mutant Ape you own, and there are special tiers if you have a doggo to go with.
Oh, the doggo, of course, naturally.
Your sewer pass may include a
Big Doge.
bonus.
What about a
Wild
Chungus?
Apes are the only ones who can claim a sewer. On January 18th, the sewer will open.
Woo! Can't wait to go in the sewer, see the Ninja Turtles.
Fragments from another universe.
Wow.
You want to collect these fragments, and some are worth more points than others. Watch out for obstacles and survive as long as you can to rack up more points.
It's so beautiful. This is the game. This is not what I saw originally. They tried to do a Bored Apes MMO. I thought that's the game that was coming out. This is legitimately a flash game from Addicting Games, pretty much. But this is one that you have to put a lot of money into. It's a fucking NFT game. And not only an NFT game, a Bored Ape one, which was the most expensive NFTs.
Pay attention, this next part is important.
You've got my undivided attention.
High score in the game is tied to the combination of your wallet and your sewer pass. If you give away your pass or get to another wallet, the score does not go with it.
Oh my god.
It's now after scores are validated, your sewer passes will be eligible for the most exciting part yet.
No more excitement. It's too much. Oh,
the great dog prophet has been studying the box that Curtis received. The conditions are right.
How much money?
A summoning ritual that will bring incredible power sources from another dimension
to
our world.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
Gary will be watching you in the sewer. So keep those sewer passes close by. The reveal is just
My god, those sewer passes are worth more than gold.
Will be able to evolve through a
They're
sequence
diamonds.
of various ape-coin-powered minigames. But before you go posting about it on Twitter, screenshot this
Nobody
graph
did.
so you have something to...
Just to illustrate the massive fall off on NFTs, this flew so far under the radar, none of the like crypto bro brainwashed NFT drone bots even bothered posting about it. I never heard about it, and I am glued to these kind of goofy NFT fumbles. And this video would have been something that would have been dunked on by like half of the people on YouTube, and no one even bothered talking about it. That is how far off, or how far they have fallen. Beautiful. Absolutely, they have really hit the shitter. They are deep in the sewer without a pass to get them out. Poetic. Sewer passes are being offered for sale for absurd amounts of money. The floor price for a sewer pass on OpenSea translates to nearly $3,100 in real money. The total volume of sewer pass sales on OpenSea at this moment stands at 13k ETH, which works out to nearly 21 mil. And some fucking goofball paid $9,700 for a tier 4 sewer pass. Those are still very high numbers. Still plenty of gullible idiots parting with some money. I imagine it's only whales left though. Because this used to be nothing to Bored Apes. Bored Apes was a multi-billion-dollar business. So their big game here only doing 21 mil total. That's quite a colossal fall off. But it is higher than I would have thought given how little people even discussed it. This is insane to me. Who are they buying to flex it to? I don't think they're doing it to flex anymore. They truly think they very much adopted that belief as, you know, buying the dip. All of the NFTs are in that big dip, and they are thinking that they're 10 steps ahead, that they're buying the dip and they're going to make a ton of money in the future. Though I just don't see a world where shit like NFTs, Bored Apes bounce back and the hysteria starts again. It's a fucking joke, and it's become synonymous with scams. So I just don't see that happening. But who knows? Maybe it does. And maybe all of the people that have a sewer pass and a dookie dash are going to be the prophets. The ones that saw the future and made out like bandits. We minted 2 sewer pass and this is what we did.
Ladies and gentlemen,
when does the game start?
Anyway, opinion of which was the pro wrecking long, pretty much floor below.
Okay.
Back, yeah. After this, got link for the pass, obviously.
Cool. Amazing gameplay. Oh, here we go. A Dookie Dash high score run. You'll pay 2 ApeCoin for a Power Shart pack. If it was free, it would actually be like charmingly shit. But keep in mind, this is $3,100 for access to this game for 3 weeks, and then you're paying money on top of it for a Power Shart pack. They are actually laughing in your face. They are feeding you shit, literally, and you're paying for it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have no sympathy for all the people that have lost incalculable amounts of money on this. What a joke. Did he get the Power Shart? Nice, good Power Shart. This should be a good run then. Alright, we're in. Let's go, gamers. Woo! Move over, Elden Ring. There's a new sheriff on the block. Oh, yeah. Oh boy, we're going in. This is a 65,000 point Power Shart. Oh! And there goes $3,100. Cool. Let's go. Awesome. Looks like an old Cartoon Network website game. True, except those games slapped. Those games were good. I still remember the Dexter's Lab one where you do electric fences in order to like herd chickens. My favorite was the Ed, Edd n Eddy Cart Bash game. That one was good. I think another absolute banger was the Evil Con Carne one where it was Battle Islands. So you'd equip your island with a lot of weaponry to fight the other island. It was really fun. Alright, I gotta take a fat shit real quick. All of this dookie dash really got my bowels cooking. I'm gonna go drop a little sewer pass in there. I'll be right back. Did I see I was named in a lawsuit? That's so hype. Which lawsuit? It's on LSF. Me being named in a lawsuit's on LSF. Oh, let's go! Wait, this is huge! It's about Bored Apes! I was named in a Bored Ape lawsuit? Hold on, let me find that original. What was that Twitter account? Declaratory judgment asking court to declare Bored Ape Yacht Club images are not entitled to copyright protection due to the Bored Ape Yacht Club images having been generated by an automated computer algorithm where no humans were involved in determining which of the 10,000 Bored Ape Yacht Club images were selected. Okay, I mean that sounds reasonable. That's all wonderful, I love the smell of roses and all that, but what does it have to do with me? Let's take a peek. Looks like Charles is making his debut in court, and it's against NFTs. Let's go, okay. So they're going after, or this is a countersuit against Ryder Rips, I believe? Streamers / YouTubers critical of Yuga are named in the counterfiling. Okay. Okay, let's see. Man, fuck all this legal jargon. Control F, here I come. Did they name me as Moist? Let's go! I only have one mention in here. I only have one credit. Unlucky. But at least this time I didn't get shafted like the Hunger Games. I'll take that. Also, a slight nitpick here for the lawyer that drafted this. You didn't do the alternating caps in critical. I could claim that's not me because the caps are all fucked up. That's not how I stylize it. Okay. The public protest against Yuga led to the hashtag Burn Bored Ape Yacht Club movement, spearheaded by popular YouTuber Fillion, but also covered by XQC, H3H3, Moist Critical, Vosh, and Hassan Piker. I mean, covered's a very strong word. If you mean getting informed on what Fillion made a video about, I suppose. Social media influencers and celebrity YouTubers have been using the Burn Bored Ape Yacht Club hashtag. I didn't. I don't do hashtags. Which began trending the same week as RR Bored Ape Yacht Club collection sold out. Question of whether Bored Ape Yacht Club is racist has become a viral debate, and mainstream newspapers reported that hashtag Burn Bored Ape Yacht Club is public opinion storm and too large to ignore. As a result, Mr. Rips and Mr. Cahan's work is today described as being pretty brilliant from an artistic point of view. They're just citing me in here. They're not even coming after me. I've never been so fucking offended in all my life. Why cite me if you're not gonna try and slap me around legally? Alright, no court, I guess. The suit's gonna have to wait. What is this lawsuit even over? So they're clearly not coming after anyone that talked about them, which is the impression I got. I thought they were going for like a defamation standpoint or something. They're not. So what is this about? Ryder Rips and Mr. Cahan deny that Forbes has described the Bored Ape NFTs as the epitome of coolness for many. What a fucking lame first sentence. The epitome of coolness? Jesus Christ, I'm so ashamed to even be named in here. Oh my, that is the most on-brand NFT shit I've seen in my fucking life. The epitome of coolness. So Yuga Labs versus Rip. In June, Yuga Labs fired a suit in which they alleged that Rip's Bored Apes conceptual art NFT collection had misused Bored Ape Yacht Club's trademark to mislead buyers and devalue their brand. Okay, so it was Yuga Labs that threw the first stone, and this is the counterclaim. Gotcha. So Ryder Rips, you might remember from Fillion's video. So he had NFT or Bored Ape-like things, and it looks like they're coming after him for copyright infringement. So then the whole case hinges on this fact that you need to prove, or you need to argue whether or not you can copyright AI-generated images, algorithm-generated images. Just wanted to come in here and further clarify just a bit in case this is all a little confusing if you're unfamiliar with the situation. Ryder Ripps was someone who was very critical of Bored Apes and made a lot of connections between Bored Apes to racist stuff. It's a massive story that blew up quite some time ago now, and Ryder Ripps also released his own collection of copycat NFTs that were basically made to poke fun at Bored Apes, and Yuga Labs, the team behind Bored Apes, didn't take too kindly to it, saying that this infringes on their trademark and copyright and just part of his smear campaign against them, so they filed a lawsuit against him. And now I was named in the countersuit against Yuga Labs, and I was just cited as someone that was fueling the fire talking about this huge movement against Bored Apes. Can't have a copyright on something not made by a person. Well, yeah, right, which is why they'd have to argue that you can, as I understand it. I'm not saying they're going to win. I feel like they have legitimately no chance of winning. It makes no sense that you could copyright an algorithm-generated image. That's a bunch of baloney. That's a fat load of dirty barnacles. I'm just trying to understand what this case is even about. You're not one of the listed parties, so you're okay? I know, I thought I was. Which would have been exciting, but I'm not. I'm just cited down here. Which sucks. Just a little footnote. Oh god, oh no, it's not even just the alternating caps they got wrong. You're right, chat. They used a 1 and an I. Oh! They've made a mockery of the legal system. That's not me at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. This is not a Better Call Saul moment at all. So is this actually going to get a jury? So they've asked for a jury trial. This would be great. And then I hope they mention me again. In fact, call me to the stand. What does Charles think about all this? Would you go? It'd be for like 2 minutes on the stand. Yeah, but that 2 minutes would lead to like 45 minutes worth of content. I'd do little practice sessions on stream in my suit and tie giving my statement, my testimonial. I'd work on fake crying. It'd be the whole 9. That'd be the most dramatic court appearance you'd ever seen. No, I'm not getting sued. I was just cited in this lawsuit. I got really excited when I read that headline on LSF, though, about us being named in a court filing. But I thought we were going to be one of the mentioned parties that's put on the iron, but unfortunately not. This is just used as kind of like a supplementary thing. What do you mean? How is it surprising they didn't fuck up XQC's name? It's 3 letters. I'd be shocked if they fucked his name up. No, I think there's a chance this goes to jury. I'm saying that with confidence, knowing absolutely nothing about this fucking case and only just now being made aware of it. But I feel confident that it's going to the jury. They'll make it to court. They'll make it to an actual trial. That's my prediction. Nothing makes people hate you faster than NFT shilling. If you wanted a speedrun getting cancelled on Twitter, just tweet about your upcoming NFT drop. The Twitter mob will fucking blast you. I swear to God, if a video surfaced of you slapping and spitting on your grandmother and then a video of you promoting NFTs dropped on the same day, people would be more upset about the NFT promotion. Now, I fucking hate NFTs. I've made multiple videos shitting all over them. I think they're the goofiest thing in the world. But today I saw something that made me reconsider my position. An NFT is so great that I was honestly considering getting on OpenSea and getting a few of these bad boys. I'm talking about the Richards. That's right, our prayers have been answered. Richard Karn of Home Improvement fame, if you can even call it fame anymore since Home Improvement was like 70 years ago, is finally releasing NFTs. By golly, we're in the golden age now. Some precious, priceless Richards will be dropping pretty soon. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one foaming at the mouth, hungry to get their hands on some Al Borland NFTs. I'll be like a goddamn goblin just hoarding all of my Richards together, making sure that they're safe and protected. But let me just break down this whole thing for you. This is the latest in shameless, low-effort celebrity NFTs. Over the last year or so, there's been a lot of celebrities that have been trying to capitalize off the rich idiots in the space. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. You've probably seen the big ones like Bored Ape, Yacht Club, and CryptoPunks. It's usually just really dog shit art, often stolen art that's peddled on OpenSea or any other NFT exchange, and people spend way too much money on it, hoping that they can make more money on it in the near future. And it's just been this hype train with no brakes, so these celebrities are hopping aboard the bandwagon and doing a terrible job at it. Recently, Stan Lee actually came back from the dead in order to promote an NFT, but instead all that happened is Stan Lee came back to the realm of the living just to get fucking ratioed on Twitter. They're parading Stan Lee's corpse around and using it like a fleshlight to fuck it with NFTs. Like, this is pretty much the perfect example for the NFT space right now. Vicious, greedy, disgusting, and just downright fucking silly. Obviously, it's beyond disrespectful to bring Stan Lee's legacy into all of this. I made a whole video talking about it, and there's a good reason why everyone was so upset, because it is just disrespectful. It's super, super dumb. But this is just one of many shameless NFT promotions, like the Richard Karn one that we're talking about today. But the difference here is Richard Karn's kind of just more of like a harmless, goofy one. I don't know how many diehard Al Borland fans are out there that are collecting Richard Karn memorabilia, like hanging over their fireplaces, you know, a shitted-in pair of Richard Karn's pants that he wore on the set of Home Improvement in Season 2. I don't know, like, how many like real enthusiasts are out there for Al Borland, so I don't know if it's gonna go super well. But I just love the idea that celebrities are all gonna start hopping on here and just treating NFTs like it's Instagram, where they take a picture of their face and mint it on the blockchain and sell it for thousands of dollars, and then they're shocked when it doesn't work. But anyway, let's take a look at the upcoming Richards. So going onto their site, you can see there's some bangers in store here. So you're definitely gonna want to mark your calendar for this drop. Don't want to miss this. You got some I Don't Think So Tims, Tag Team, and Golfing Buddies. So it's a little more than most NFTs offer, admittedly. Like, you know, Richard Karn's going the extra mile. It's more than just dog shit art, which we don't even get to see, unfortunately. I'm sure there is going to be some awful art here, but you actually do get an experience. So like the I Don't Think So Tim, you get to reminisce about Home Improvement with Al Borland. So you hop on a Zoom call with Richard, and you talk about your favorite episodes together, and then you fist bump at the end of probably about 30 minutes, and you're good. Then you get the fuck out of there. The Tag Team is a one-on-one collab, so that's pretty cool. You might be seeing some Richard Karn in upcoming Let's Plays, maybe on some YouTube podcasts, or even in a feature-length film or student film, perhaps. And then Golfing Buddies, you get to go golfing with Richard. I mean, that's probably going to be the best seller. No joke, the Richards actually offer more value than any other NFT I've seen so far. At least the big ones like Bored Apes and CryptoPunks. You get more with a Richard than you do hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bored Apes, because those are just literal JPEGs of dog shit art. At least here you might go golfing with Richard while also having some dog shit art to fall back on in the blockchain. So you're getting some bang for your buck here. Like, yeah, you might not be able to resell the Golfing with Richard at a higher markup, but goddamn, you got a memory with it. When it comes to something like a Bored Ape, no one actually wants to have the Bored Ape for too long, because the whole idea is you sell it for higher than you paid for. No one actually wants to be the last guy holding a Bored Ape. No one wants to just have that picture to have it. They want it to sell it. So if you happen to be that unlucky last sucker who has that Bored Ape for too long, you'll never make your money back. But here, doesn't matter. Money making isn't the goal. The goal is golfing or talking about Home Improvement with Richard. So I really do think you get a lot more value out of a Richard. So I thought this was super fun and goofy. You know, Richard Karn came in here all kind of wholesome about it, and I just wanted to talk about it. That's about it. See ya. I went golfing for the first time in a long time, which is why I'm dressed like I just got back from church. But trust me, my performance today proved that there is no God. He wouldn't let someone be this talentless at golf. I played awful. It was trash. I ate more ass than a toilet seat. But I had fun, which of course is what everyone says when they do absolutely fucking terrible at something. But anyway, I came home and I was feeling a little down because I was disappointed with my performance. I looked silly in front of my friends, so I just needed something to help me feel better. And what better way of improving your mood than going on Twitter? Nothing as cathartic as pouring gasoline on a fire, I suppose. So I went on Twitter and I saw something pretty disgusting. This is the official Stan Lee Twitter account, and it's being used like a fucking fleshlight to promote NFTs. From championing diversity to embracing new tech, Stan was one step ahead of the curve. To honor his innovative spirit, Stan's first Indian hero, Chakra the Invincible, debuts in his own NFT, digital art collection. If Stan Lee was still alive, this would have killed him. It would have put him in the grave. Regardless of how you feel about NFTs, whether you think they're all scams or if you think a picture of an ape with a cigarette in its mouth is worth millions of dollars, it doesn't really matter. You can at least recognize why this is so shitty. Just using the reputation of Stan Lee to make a quick buck off of his legacy. This isn't the first thing that Stan Lee's Twitter account has been used to promote since his death. It's constantly, like, selling things from what I can see. So this is just the latest in their money-making scheme. It feels like any day now they're gonna make a tweet saying, "We decided to uncover Stan's decaying corpse, you can pay to come visit it." I don't know who runs the Stan Lee Twitter account, but I can make an educated guess. It has to be Mr. Krabs. They are greedy as fuck. I feel like we're only a month away from them just going full Weekend at Bernie's, where they get Stan Lee's carcass up and pretend he's still alive, like, "Hey, Stan Lee was so pleased with the NFT auction, he's come back to life through the power of the blockchain, baby." Or if he's like too decayed and he's just a bunch of bones in the coffin, they'll start auctioning off individual bones as NFTs from Stan Lee. They're just not allowing Stan Lee to rest peacefully. I've never been one to believe in the supernatural, but I have no doubt he is still anchored to this world as some kind of vengeful spirit, because there is some silliness afoot here with whoever's running this Twitter account. They are keeping Stan Lee fucking chained to this dimension, no matter how much he wants to just move on. They will not let him. They have to try and squeeze every last dime out of his legacy and milk him for all he's worth, and it's sad. It's fucking gross. Again, I don't really care how you feel about NFTs, if you love them, if you hate them. You can recognize why this is still frowned upon and shitty. Even Crazy Frog left this comment condemning it. All of us have seen Crazy Frog's dick, but we've never seen him put it in someone's mouth like this. Even Crazy Frog, who is also selling NFTs, is openly saying that this is terrible. Crazy Frog has their own drama going on right now because they're also selling NFTs. I don't really know too much about that. I don't even know what the fuck kind of NFTs Crazy Frog is selling. I guess it's going to be like different variations of his cock, like circumcised versus uncircumcised. I mean, I have no fucking clue what they could possibly be doing, but people are very mad at Crazy Frog, and they still openly condemned how low this was. And then Dictionary came in there and even dunked on him a little bit by just reminding us what the definition of defile is. And this is very much a textbook example. It's just so shameless, and it's laughably obvious how desperately they want to suckle from the bosom of all the other popular NFTs being pumped currently. Like CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, they're doing the exact same thing. So they have 7,000 unique generative chakra pieces, meaning you could get normal Chakra, or you could get Chakra who's shooting laser beams out of his eyes with face tattoos and a grill. Or you might get Chakra who looks normal but is actually missing a tooth, which means he's a rare permutation. They're just copying the exact same formula as all the other goofy fucking NFTs. They're not even doing the bare minimum to make it something different. They're just doing the exact same shit that every other producer of NFTs is doing because they all have this fear of missing out on easy money. And the only difference here is they're putting Stan Lee as the face of it, despite him being dead. He's the one that's going to promote it for them. So they're just parading his corpse around as just an NFT billboard. It's wild. But who knows, maybe people are just so upset about NFTs in general that we've all convinced ourselves that Stan Lee would never want this. Maybe there's a chance that whoever's running Stan Lee's Twitter account actually asked him if he would support this project, fund it, in fact, like a Kickstarter backer. Like maybe they got a spiritual medium over and they contacted Stan Lee and they asked for his blessing and he gave it. Maybe that's the case. Who knows? All I know is I still think NFTs are fucking stupid. Or at the very least, all of these dumb art NFTs are extremely fucking stupid. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. When I graduated college, I got myself a special gift, a little treat. I decided to splurge a bit to celebrate. I got myself a $200 pocket trumpet. I don't know why I did this. I don't know what fucking musical demon possessed me that day, but it seemed like a good deal at the time, so I paid $200 for a pocket trumpet that I've never been able to play. I couldn't play it then, I can't play it now, and I've never had any interest in playing the trumpet, but on that particular day, I spent $200 on that piece of shit. And to this day, I believe it is the biggest waste of money of my life. It is the worst purchase I've ever made. And that feeling has to be how people that buy NFTs feel every day. Just concentrated embarrassment and a pit in your stomach remembering that you wasted so much money on absolutely nothing. That is the slogan of NFTs. For those of you that don't know what NFTs are, they're literal nothing burgers that you pay money for in the form of crypto. So you'll buy like Ethereum and you'll trade it for a GIF or a meme. For example, this very popular meme, the Disaster Girl, which I'm sure every single one of you watching this has seen, was recently auctioned as an NFT and sold for $470,000. The beauty of NFTs is literally everyone already owns them, but the difference is when you buy the NFT version of it, it gives you a little authenticated chain in the blockchain that lets everyone know that you're a fucking idiot. It basically just stamps it to let everyone know that you're dumb. So that's basically it. NFT stands for non-fungible tokens, but it might as well stand for non-functioning tokens because they don't do anything. It's actual fucking nothingness. You are paying for the idea of something in most cases, and it's full of scams. A lot of people have just stolen artists' works and auctioned them as NFTs and made thousands off of it. Fucking Logan Paul was auctioning clips of his Pokemon unboxing stream for NFTs, and they were selling for like $13,000. Actual, just 30-second clips of him opening packs were selling for $13,000. It's something that everyone already has access to. It's mind-boggling that people actually pay money for these things. I'm pretty sure at the top level it's just money laundering, but there are people that truly believe that when they buy an NFT it's going to go up in value. Maybe they're right, maybe I'm the idiot, but to me you're actually just buying nothing. And why am I talking about this today? It's because the Charlie Bit My Finger video, one of YouTube's first viral videos, is about to be deleted in a few days because it's being sold as an NFT. So in order to like increase the demand for the NFT, the family has decided to remove the video and only have it exist as that NFT. And I say, good riddance. That video made middle school so fucking uncomfortable for me because it was so popular. Everyone would always make the same fucking joke about Charlie, don't bite my finger. And of course, this was a double whammy, just double fisting my butthole, because this came out at the same time as Charlie the Unicorn. So it was always just this same back and forth slap of the worst jokes ever, the same ones of, don't bite my finger, Charlie, or just saying like, Charlie, Charlie, like I fucking hated it. So to see this being taken off of YouTube, that to me is, that's an overdue justice right there. That sounds wonderful. Now, obviously the idea behind this is by removing the video on YouTube, it'll drive up the value on the NFT, so it'll go for more money. I mean, that makes sense, but the beauty of NFTs is, it's not like it's a one-of-a-kind thing. Literally anyone in the world can just download the video right now, which a lot of people already have, and there's already re-uploads and everything, so it's not like it's only going to exist in that guy's possession. But for the NFT collector, maybe that really will help it go for like millions. This was one of the first viral videos from YouTube, which is one of the biggest platforms on the planet. So this shit could really be life-changing for the family, and I have no problem, I have nothing against the family for it. As I've said quite a few times, I have no problem with artists that try and make money off their work through NFTs. It's been great at getting artists paid for some of their work, which has been extremely hard for online digital artists in recent years, and NFTs have been a great way for them to make some money off it. Like, fucking Beeple made $70 million selling his pieces in NFT, and all of that money is coming straight from the wallet of some dumb rich people. Who better to take money from? There's plenty of terrible things to point out about NFTs, but that's not really the whole point to this video. I've been kind of shitting on the idea of buying them, but I'm sure there is some value for some of these somewhere. But in 98% of every NFT ever made, it's actual nothing that you're buying. You might as well just flush your money down the toilet and then take a shit on top of it. You get more value out of that money sitting in your septic tank than you would if you had bought a Nyan Cat GIF with it. Because at least when the money's fucking buried in the sewer system, it's not in the public eye, so you're not embarrassed by it. But when you fucking spend money on one of these dumb NFTs, everyone knows who it belongs to. It's on the blockchain. You can always see what wallet it belongs to. That has to be beyond embarrassing. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. The point of the video is, this is just a little funeral service for the Charlie Bit My Finger video. God rest its soul, and Godspeed to whoever's going to be the proud new owner of internet history. We're losing something big here on YouTube. This really, truly was a huge deal when it came out, and it's always persisted. You know, a lot of things fall out like Gangnam Style, no one really talks about that anymore, but somehow Charlie Bit My Finger always makes its way into like pop culture discussion from time to time when discussing internet trends and shit. So it was a big piece of internet history that will soon be leaving us. And I think that's fucking great. I give it a round of applause. Hopefully I'll never have to hear another one of those fucking awful "don't bite my finger, Charlie" or "ouch, Charlie" jokes in real life again. So I think really nothing but positive things here. And I hope the family makes millions off of selling this video as an NFT. That's about it. See ya. I know I just said see ya, but every time I start talking about NFTs, I just get fucking heated. Like, that shit just gets my ass greased. There's another one I want to talk about, is people selling their tweets as NFTs. Fucking Jack Dorsey's tweet, his first tweet, sold for $2.9 million as an NFT. And you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what does that even mean? Basically, a screenshot of his first tweet sold for $2.9 million. I could go right now and just look at his first tweet myself for free. I could even right-click and save the image if I wanted to, and I basically own exactly what this guy owns for free. But he paid $2.9 million for it. This fucking pretentious douchebag compared Jack's first tweet to the Mona Lisa to defend, or to justify, his $2.9 million purchase. And it's not just him, there's been other tweets that have sold for tons of money for absolutely no reason. It's fucking dumb. Anyway, if a tweet can sell for this much money, surely the Charlie Bit My Finger video will be going for hundreds of millions, if that's anything to go by. It was $145,000 per character in Jack's tweet. Wild. It's so dumb. Now that's it. Alright, see ya. That's it.